Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, July 11th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, if you would like for me to analyze a stock that I did not do here, go ahead, comment down below, and I will do my best to get that into a future video. Second, this candle right here will be moving around and changing, and that is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then finally, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, LGVN, big mover today, and kind of tricky to talk about because there's different perspectives that go into it. What do I mean? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you're buying right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yeah, from that standpoint, the chart's looking pretty rough because it was this big pullback. However, if you care about the bigger picture point of view, even with the pullback here, you got to consider part of the big picture being, well, where's the price at before all this occurred? And those people would be able to say, well, the price was right here, then it exploded all the way up there, which has now given me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. Once again, to reiterate, I fully am aware that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about the bull flag pattern. But if you do just like bull flags in general, or if you care about things from the bigger picture point of view, then that would be the current status of things right now. And then also, in this, any sort of volume analysis will tell you that during pullbacks like this, you want to see lower volume, and check it out. Definitely lower volume over the course of this pullback right here. But big picture wise, if you like bull pennants, or excuse me, bull flags, you like stocks down below $10, keep an eye on it. Next one here, KZIA, same general idea of what I just talked about. It's all about perspective. Day traders that were buying right there, they're not feeling so good. But yes, the price is pulled back, but like I said, I'm going to go through this quicker because I literally just said all this. The price is pulling back, but if you care about the bigger picture, you're going to say, well, what was going on before this pullback? And those people would say, well, there's this huge explosion like that. So we once again have another bull flag pattern. The biggest difference there is that this one just happens to be a penny stock. So if you like bull pennant or bull, why can't I get those right? If you like bull flags and happen to just like penny stocks though, keep an eye here on KZIA moving forward. Next one here, VRPX, and this is kind of like the previous two, but not quite because this pullback is quite a bit deeper. And it is relatively looking ugly right now, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity ugly. And the opportunity comes here on this potential gap close if it can happen. So let me change that to green to represent support. And you have this former breakout area right down here around the gap close location. And then what also makes this interesting is around the same area, you also have the purple line right there, which on my chart denotes the very well-known 50-period simple moving average. So you kind of have a double whammy of potential support. Keyword being potential, because again, there are no guarantees. So my point here is this: while there are no guarantees, is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price comes down here, it could find some support and then get some sort of bounce back in the upward direction? That is certainly a plausible scenario. As always, got to use risk management in case that doesn't happen, but by no means would I think anybody would say, oh, that's totally random. I don't see your thought process at all. No, I would see people saying, oh yeah, I see the thought process. Gap close, former area of resistance, 50-period moving average. There's a lot of situations down there that could very well lead to a bounce. So if you like these sort of kind of ugly situations where you got to think a lot of people are probably starting to wave the white flag, and especially when you factor in that this pullback here is definitely happening on much lower volume. So if you like these circumstances, that's what a watch list is all about. Not rushing out and randomly buying stuff, but at least keep an eye on it. So like I said, if you like these, then keep an eye on it for Thursday. Next one, MAXN, and unfortunately this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched previous videos, but I've been talking about quite a bit about 0.222 and why that was a very important level, and the price has dropped now down below it, and it's already gone right back to acting as resistance. You can see on that bounce right there, price came right up there and got rejected at it before getting pushed back down. And this is an area that you want to see the price get recovered up above, because any further that the price goes to the downside, that is just further putting the price right back to where it was. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great bounces and then all of a sudden go right back to where the bounce started, not exactly a sign of genuine power. I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why you certainly don't want to see the price separate any further to downside. And this would now also be considered an area of resistance just based on the foundational rule that when levels of support are broken, they do tend to act as resistance. So definitely 0.222, you want to see the price get above there ASAP, and any sort of further movement down to back to the downside pretty much would just be the nail in the coffin that this nice upwards move here was simply a dead cat bounce. Next one here, ticker symbol AMD. Beautiful, beautiful looking chart, and actually a very intriguing final 30 minutes here as another green candle is forming. And in the very near term, what I'm very curious about is, can the price actually get up through that area of resistance right there at the 184.40 mark? And if it can, and especially if it's a high volume break, once more, and I'll probably say it a dozen more times, no guarantees, but a good high volume break of that level right there, I think it puts it well within the realm of reason that the price could get up there, retest those highs, and then potentially go even higher than that with more momentum, which, again, not exactly a bold claim given that this thing has been put in higher highs constantly. So I'm not trying to come across like I'm making some sort of really gutsy call. But nonetheless, from a trading standpoint, I think a good high volume break of there has a good chance of sending it to highs. And then as far as supports, no need to overcomplicate it. Just watch that purple line right there, 50 period moving average. Keyword being moving, so as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. And from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that moving average, the overall trend and the bulls are in full control. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one, QURE, and this will mean more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but if you did, hopefully remember me talking about that resistance line right there and how the price was getting right up there. And check it out, broke that resistance, and then absolutely monster move today. So congratulations to anybody that watched yesterday's video and took advantage of that. But we now need to get some new levels updated. So first level of support is what I would call the ideal level. I mean, if you say, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay right up there above $9.20. Now, don't get me wrong, if the price falls below $9.20, I'm not saying the entire chart is epically destroyed or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could manage to stay above that level, that would certainly be a very impressive sign of power moving forward. But from the overarching big picture point of view, as already discussed, just watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average, and definitely keyword being moving, because I understand price is way up here, that line's way down there, but as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So as previously stated, from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that moving average, the bulls are in full health. But yeah, in terms of what would make the chart look the strongest, definitely staying above 920. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy or complicated here, really just a question of kind of what general area did the momentum stop today, and that was essentially right up there at the $11 mark. But anyway, look at it, monster move. Let's see if the momentum carries into Thursday. Next one, ZAPP. Finally, this one acted human, and once again, this is all about perspective, because if you're a day trader and you bought anywhere around here and your plan was to buy and sell within a couple of hours or what have you, then yeah, you are not looking good at all, because nasty gap down, prices pulled back. With all that being said, if you care about the big picture point of view, check it out. I mean, the price still has not even tested that purple line right there, the 50 period moving average. And I'm not saying this will occur, but let's actually see the price breaks down through there, comes around and does something like this. Again, I'm just making stuff up to present a point. What would you still have? Emphasis on big picture. Well, from the big picture, you'd have a set of lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows down there. And if you envision each of those as stair-steps, what do you have from the big picture standpoint? Well, you'd still very clearly have progress being made in the upwards direction. And again, that assumes the price pulls all the way down there. Once more to reiterate, I get it. Day traders that were buying right there, you definitely don't care about these stair steps. But that's why I'm trying to make the distinction that I'm making these comments from the bigger picture point of view. But yeah, moving forward in the very near term, definitely want to see the price stay above that purple line. But even if it doesn't, not a do or die. But yes, certainly that would make the chart look the healthiest moving forward. But finally a big pullback here, but we'll see if this thing is indeed just a healthy pullback or if today is a leading indicator that it's a full-blown reversal. Only time will tell. Next one here, TSLA, Tesla. And I'm going to go ahead and call up for a bigger pullback here. Not a reversal, big difference. Because what we have now from a pattern standpoint, let me get this drawn into play here. And let's get the other part into play. This is a rising wedge pattern. You would think rising wedge is actually a bullish pattern, but it's bearish. Whereas a falling wedge is the bullish one. Now let me be very clear, just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. But if I were forced to say what do I think Tesla's going to do over the next couple of days, I think that this thing needs to pull back some more. And a pullback point that I could see very realistically happening is down here around the 245 mark. And again, even if it were to go down there, from a big picture standpoint, the chart would still be plenty healthy. So just don't conflate the two terms. Pullback and reversal, two very different things. So I think a pullback is in store here just based on that rising wedge pattern. So we'll see what happens with it over the next couple of days. Maybe Tesla's about to just laugh at me and say, I'll show you what I think about your rising wedge pattern. But because it is Tesla, so it wouldn't shock me. But from a strictly technical point of view, I would say a pullback due to that rising wedge pattern. Next one, SOUN, an absolutely monster move today. In some senses, essentially straight up all day long. So let's map out where things stand right now. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate it. You have a nice well-defined upper trend line right there that has rejected the price. So keep an eye on that. And then in terms of supports, once again, we'll take a look at it from an ideal standpoint and then the overall one. So ideally, that level that would make the chart look the absolute strongest going forward would be if the price can stay above 485. But if the price does not hold above there, not the end of the world, because you are going to have that purple line there increasing nicely, and essentially that's like a trend line that's being drawn for you, and you'll have a nice overall steady uptrend. So don't freak out if the price breaks below 485, but from a kind of high maintenance best case scenario, that would definitely make the chart look very attractive moving forward. But all things considered, huge volume, huge price movement, and sometimes that's all that's needed to end up on somebody's watch list, because that's what we need as traders. We need volume, we need volatility, we need movement, and that is exactly what this one is providing. Next one, TQQQ, and just absolute beast mode today, including the final 30 minutes. As I speak, this thing is going up to highs. Market's closed here in about 5 minutes, so probably going to close right up around here. But you can see the price struggled earlier with its resistance, came down, but they came back up late morning, broke through it, and then never really even looked back. So just overall, monster move continues. And just to add more context, I mean, this thing has just been grinding higher and higher. So we'll get some new levels mapped out. First level, that ideal area, what makes the chart look the healthiest, strongest moving forward. Definitely if the price can stay above 83.80, but just continue to watch that purple line from more so the overarching standpoint. But even if the price were to fall below that purple line, you still have plenty of wiggle room to build that higher base, which just goes to illustrate how strong of a move this has been when the price, I mean, could quite literally come all the way down here, bounce around, and you'd still have lows there, you'd have lows there, and you'd have lows even lower than that, which still gives you those overall stair steps in the upward direction. In terms of areas of resistance, I'm not even, well, I guess technically speaking, this is an area of resistance, but that's just simply because that's where the momentum stops, so 85.20. But for lack of better terms, the price is essentially in a blue sky breakout territory. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, then go get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, July 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And it is a genuine live event. There's a question and answers, so definitely bring your questions, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame. So instead of each one of these candlesticks representing 30 minutes, each one represents 4 hours, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So I want this video to remain relevant for as long as possible, and using the 4-hour allows me to accomplish that. So definitely a big old tease over the past 24 hours, because the price did come up here. It broke up through the top of the pattern. That candle right there was looking very strong, and then the price has rolled back over. Unfortunately, not only back inside of the red line, but it's actually now back down below that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. So at one point it broke both key levels, and now it's broken both back to the downside. So with all that being said, pretty much we're exactly where we were in yesterday's video, where I'm just going to assume you're watching this video 15-20 hours after I upload it. So questions just revolve around, where's the price at relative to this channel? If you're answering the question that the price is still within the channel, well then one word would be used to summarize that, and that would just be consolidation, which is what this thing has been doing. If you're answering the question, the price is up above that red line there at 58,400, well, that would tell you that a bullish breakout is underway. So that would be a good thing, assuming you're long. If somehow you're answering the question that the price is down below there, which I'd be shocked on that, because that would require a big old drop. Then again, it is Bitcoin. But anyways, if you're answering the question that the price is down below 53,500, well, that would just be telling you that this little pullback here has picked up a whole lot of nastiness to go down there and even further down below. But really, like I said, kind of what it's been the past couple of days. We're stuck in this sideways channel pattern. Past 24 hours was a false breakout to the upside, so we'll see how the price continues to play out and see if there can be any sort of true breakout in either direction. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to get signed up for this free class, because what you're learning about can and definitely should be used within your trading. So like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, July 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So go get signed up. And like I said, it's live. So bring your questions so I can answer them during the Q&A session. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Like I said, if you have a request, leave that down in the comment section. I'll do my best to get to it and go get signed up for that free class. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.